This meditation is designed to help you see and know that everything is the nature of God. There is nothing that's not. Okay. Just remember everything that we think is separate. First of all, our eyes see in separation, our brains translate in separation. Everything looks like it's separate to the human ego and to the human brain. And it's supposed to be that way. Well, let me first say this as I go through this and why I'm trying to show you that everything is the nature of God. I'm not trying to say that the way you see things is wrong. Okay. Everything is God. Everything is the nature of the universe. So even if you have some kind of dysregulated ego like mine, there actually is no such thing as a dysregulated ego. There is only God. So it's like the millions and trillions of waves in the ocean. There is no one wave that's a mistake from the ocean's point of view. So if you think of God as the ocean and the millions and trillions of waves as us, or all this separation, there is no mistake there. No matter how the wave looks, what the wave is doing, what it does to other waves, there's no mistakes here because God is the ocean and God does not judge any waves as bad or wrong. Why? Because the ocean knows every wave is itself. So this is what I want to show you best that I can, that the nature of who you think you are, the life force in this body, is everywhere. Just like you are the ocean, believing that you're an individual wave. And that's not a mistake. Honestly, it's just the way the ocean likes it. You can sort of see that. The ocean likes making waves. That's not a mistake. So you're the ocean believing or thinking that you're an individual wave, and that's perfectly fine. For people like me, or if you have strong enough emotional dysregulation, it had a strong therapeutic effect on me to see this energetically, experientially. So I'm going to do my best to point to it. And what I'm going to ask before we start this, because I really want you to see this in other people. I really want you to know that there really, from God's point of view, there are no separate people. From the ocean's point of view, there are no waves that are separate than itself. Okay, so what I invite you to do is get out a picture on your phone of somebody, maybe a family member. I would suggest to get out a picture of somebody who's giving you some trouble, possibly a relative, mother, child, partner, somebody who, can cause your emotions to go up and down and up and down. And so, your mind might think, well, I could see the godliness in them when they're doing good things and all, but when they're doing bad things, I don't think they are. That kind of thing. So I strongly suggest for you to get out a picture of this person, if you can. If you have a picture there or a picture on your phone, okay, because this will be part of the meditation. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to relax the body, access the peaceful presence of universal energy, and again, I'm going to point to the everythingness of this. And this is really important in the end to know there are no separate objects. Everything that I'm saying is just words, concepts, and labels. There was a comment on one of my videos, and this is pretty common that people will start to argue. I know what the universe is. I know what God is. I know what energy is. You don't. I know. And I used to think that too until it was shown to me that, well, what do you know? What are you going to say? More words, label, concept that you think are right? I used to think that. Even the word God is just three letters, syllable. It, you know, the word broomstick can be used, and a broomstick is the energy of God. So I'm not trying to be irreverent here at all. It's just, it's only the egoic mind that really believes that everything that it's saying is true because its whole existence is based on all of this separation being true. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so why is all this egoic mishap stuff kind of thing happen? It's the ego is part of the survival mechanism of the body and the brain. It's designed, its whole purpose is to help this body to survive and thrive in this story that God has created of all these separate people in here. So it's supposed to see separation. Okay. It's supposed to be judgmental. It's supposed to be critical. If it doesn't, if your ego or your brain could not see separation, you might just go out in the street and get hit by a car, or you would trust somebody that you maybe shouldn't trust. Or if somebody came in here with a baseball bat or something like that, you'd be like, oh, we're all one, and just allow yourself to get clobbered. Like the ego is supposed to be, it's doing its job, in seeing separation like this. I guess if you could say that if there's any kind of misnomer or misunderstanding is the egoic brain is not the right tool for the job of understanding who you are and the nature of who you are to reality in the universe and God. So using your egoic brain to understand the nature of the universe and God and this reality is like using a laptop to hammer in a nail. It's the wrong tool for the job. And as soon as you try that, that computer or laptop is going to show you it's going to short circuit. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with the egoic mind and the brain and what it's doing. It's just a misunderstanding if you're going to use that to understand the nature of yourself, because it only understands this whole world from separation, from this story. It has to know its name. It has to know that it's a human. It has to be able to separate, what's good from bad, or just start eating poison berries or something. You know what I mean? So this is really for understanding through experience the true nature of what's happening in your relationship to it from an experiential point of view. If I do this right, or for you, if this is resonating for you, it will be energetically realized, intuited, and experienced that you never needed a book or words or labels to tell you what the nature of everything is. Okay, so I'm going to relax the body, access the universal energy, and then I'm going to do my best to point to the everythingness of it. And again, a lot of things that I'm going to say is just for your own spiritual meditation purposes. And maybe it'll have some therapeutic effect for your emotions that will help you. Okay. I wouldn't advise going to people that who wouldn't understand this stuff and just start lecturing to them like this. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, because this is all personal for everyone. Okay. Okay. So first, let's just relax the body. We're going to start the meditation now. So let's just first relax the body. And just focus on your breath. And you'll focus on elongating the exhalation breath. That relaxes the body even more. Somebody wrote about our emotions. Your emotions are the energy of God too. And that was the big revelation here. Even my emotions of depression and anxiety and rage, that's God working out energy through this body, the energy of generational trauma. So my body's supposed to feel these kinds of emotions, sometimes much stronger than other people, because people like us, we are the purge. And so the kind of work that I do is designed to help people like us maybe to survive the fact that maybe you are the purge and you've had a really troubling emotional life, some abusive experiences, addictions, and behaviors, all because of your dysregulated emotions and impulse behavioral control. But understand again, everything that I just said there is a story, because everything is the nature of God, because God is all there is. Okay? This is not about whose story or way of seeing things is better. You have to know the nature of God without words in order to really know it. And that's what I'm going to try to show you and point to you. But this is all within. I think in Jesus in a line from the Bible that says the kingdom of heaven is within you or something like that. Right? So this is all within. So let's just relax the body here. Keep the breath nice and slow and try to elongate the exhalation breath as calmly and relaxed as you can. So you shouldn't be gulping for or gasping for air on the inhale. And then from there, I invite you to bring up a troubling emotion. If you were to do this kind of work with the hope of resolving some emotional issues, I invite you to bring up the emotional issues that you feel that you'd like to tackle that are the most important to you. Because this work is designed to help you to accept them, radically accept them, internalize them, and see the oneness and see God in them. Okay, from an experiential point of view. Now, if your body's been through trauma and you're concerned about what your body's going to do, then I wouldn't do it all the way. Obviously, I don't want anybody to get re-traumatized here. Just do it up in little, bring it up in little bits and parts. But you do need to see how the presence of universal energy, which has also been called the peace of God, the peace that surpasses all understanding, can help you with this. Okay, so I would, if I could tell you that, maybe you can resolve something that's been troubling you, I would pick the main one that's been troubling you the most. I've worked with people in which they were 80 years old and they said, my God, I was carrying that around for 80 years and I didn't know that it could be resolved like that. And so I'm just trying to help people with their suffering here, even though there's no such thing as suffering. I'm just trying to help people with their suffering here. So pick the thing that troubles you because maybe it can get resolved tonight. Okay, so when you do, ask yourself, where do you feel it in the body? Any kind of unresolved emotions are stored in the body. They're trapped in the body that they're finding. That's why they wrote that book, The Body Keeps the Score, right? And usually the trapped emotions are the challenging ones: fear, depression, anger, grief. You ever, this is why you usually don't hear about people having peace, love, joy, and happiness trapped in their body, right? I have happiness trapped in my body. You don't usually hear that. Why? Because the way emotions are resolved and released is you simply feel them and you embrace them into your system. That's what integrates them and resolves them and releases them. So you really don't hear people, having problems with happiness, love, joy, and peace and having that trapped in your body. But the other ones you do, mainly because the mind likes the happy ones and doesn't like the ones that it thinks are challenging. And thus, a lot of that stuff gets trapped in the body. But you resolve it the same exact way as happiness, love, peace, or joy. You embrace it and experience it and feel it in the body. But the peace of God will help you with this. Okay, so ask yourself, where do you feel it? These trapped emotions in the body. Someone wrote here, what if I can't feel it or identify anywhere in my body? Don't worry, because in the end, you don't decide what's going to come up, what needs to be resolved. God does. All you have to do is be willing to go through the process and be courageous about feeling anything that comes up. Let God choose. Maybe nothing will come up, or maybe some things will come up. Okay, maybe this is not the right venue for you. I went through years and years of therapy and people trying to help me with my emotions. I couldn't do a thing until I went to a men's group and I saw other men releasing their emotions, and that was the key for me. So maybe this isn't the key for you. So I strongly recommend that you keep looking if you are trying to resolve these things for yourself, though. But in the end, you don't decide what emotions come up. Your intuition does. That which is connected to God or the universe does. You just have to be open, willing, and courageous about feeling it. Okay. Okay. So just notice where you feel these things. And just do your best just to, keep the breath nice and slow. And then just relax the body as much as you can. Feel the muscles relax. Every elongated exhalation breath slows the heart rate down, regulates the CO2 levels in your body, and helps you to relax. And so all of this stuff is about feeling your feelings. Yes, all of this stuff is about feeling your feelings. A commitment to sobriety from addiction is basically a commitment to feeling every single feeling, possibly generational trauma type feelings that God or life has intended for you. And so I was an alcoholic and I'd rather drink than feel. But when I made the decision to feel and all this generational trauma stuff came up, I realized like the decision that was made here was you're going to die of something. I would rather die from feeling all my feelings the way God intended than to die of alcoholism. I'm just not going to drink. And that's sometimes the choice you have to make. It's that simple. You know, if I end up feeling such strong feelings that my body flies apart, then so be it. You know, I'm just not going to drink. I'm not doing it. So for me, sometimes when I feel really strong emotions, I have to make that kind of decision on a regular basis. And sometimes those are the kinds of decisions that people with addictions have to make. You know, which way do you want to go then? Do you want to go by doing your addiction, or do you want to go feeling all the feelings God intended for you? And I'm not trying to say it makes it easier. It doesn't. I'm not trying to say it makes the feelings feel better. It doesn't. Having this radical acceptance and feeling the peace of God helps you, but this work isn't designed to make difficult feelings all of a sudden feel pretty or something. You just have to make the commitment to follow through with your particular cross to bear, as Jesus put it. Right. So I'm doing my best to help you, but sometimes you just have to do that whole where the rubber meets the road kind of thing and just make that commitment to yourself that no matter what, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. If somebody puts a gun to my head, I'm going to feel the feelings and drink. No way. Not doing it. Because I did that already for 30 years. I did it the other way and massacred my stomach doing it and stuff, and I'm not doing it again. So sometimes you have to make that choice every single day, which I do when you feel this stuff. So I'm doing my best to do this meditation and address people as much as I can. Okay. So hopefully just you've been doing the relaxed breathing, elongating the exhalation breath, trying to relax your body, and you feel a little bit more relaxed than before. Yes. Okay. So now we're going to access the peaceful presence of universal energy. Okay. So God or universal energy appears in many, many, many forms. Okay. It appears as all this, but one of the ways that it appears is as this peaceful, silent, still presence that in the Bible they've called it the peace that surpasses all understanding. Some religions, other religions, they've called it Buddha nature. Sometimes people just like to call it the peace. I call it the peaceful presence of universal energy. Again, it's just one aspect of God, but it's the part that I feel can help you resolve some difficult emotions. Okay, so all the energy of God is, or the energy of the universe, is just the energy that makes everything exist. All of this is the energy of God. So if it wasn't here, this curtains, the books behind me, that kintsugi pottery that I showed, your car, everything is just the energy of God. It's the energy that makes everything exist. It's just in different forms. So the easiest way to access this peaceful presence of it, if everything is it, is to do the opposite of what it's doing, to try to do the opposite of what it's doing mentally. If it's making everything exist, then try not existing mentally, not physically, obviously. Mentally, really make an effort to not exist right now. And really put some effort into it. Because when you do, the more you come face to face with the presence of your own existence, right? I mean, it's undeniable. This, you know you exist, but to feel the presence of it, try not existing, and then you'll immediately feel the opposite, which is the presence of your own existence. And that in the human body feels like this still, silent, peaceful presence. That when you close your eyes, you feel it in your body, in your heart, in your consciousness. But also when you relax your focus, you realize it's on the outside of your body as well. It's all around. It's in the room with you. It's everywhere. And it has to be because this is the scientific energy of the universe. We're basically experiencing and feeling the building blocks of God's universe, the energy, matter, and space that makes everything exist. So it's in all solids, liquids, and gases. It's in the atmosphere. It is everything. There is only this. And it's the same energy, whether it's in something that people call alive or people call dead. It's in this, it's the same energy. We learned this stuff in sixth grade. Okay. But maybe no one's ever taught you how to access it. And so, got it there? And the more you put your attention, so for some of you, you might like, oh, I've experienced this before in meditation and prayer, in nature and yoga, in church. Other people may never experience this before, and some people may say, well, it goes in and out and in and out. Just calm the body down, relax your breath. The more you put your attention there, the more your connection with it is enhanced. Yes? If thoughts come, just let them be there. But put your attention back on this. Everybody get a sense of it? You can go back to this. This is going to end up on a recording on one of the platforms. You can come back to this. And there's other meditations in this account that are like this. Okay. And so just again, to enhance your connection with it, to enhance the feeling of it, just put more of your attention there. Play this game with yourself and ask yourself, this presence of universal energy, this presence of God energy that I'm feeling right now, will it ever end? Check. Really make an effort. It's a rhetorical question. The mind's going to jump in there and say, well, it never ends. It's the energy of God. And intellectually, that's the right answer, but intellectual answers will not help you. Like I said, if I took away your ability to think about this, read about it, speak words, analyze it, you would still be experiencing it. Okay. Words can help to resonate, but words are just pointers in the end. Okay. So saying the word God is a pointer, just like me saying the word orange or apple is just a pointer. It's not the thing itself. You have to experience an apple in order to know what the word apple is. Same thing with God. Okay, so just put more of your attention there. So it should feel like this ocean of God's energy all around you, right? Inside you, all around you, and just go deeper into yourself. Go deeper into this ocean. Relax into it. Just like going into the ocean, just like submersing yourself in the ocean. You feel it all around you. The more you put your attention there, the deeper into God's ocean you go, and the more you feel it. Get a sense of it? So go deeper. Go deeper into yourself. Go deeper into God's ocean of energy. Go deeper into your consciousness. Because these are the areas where your mind has pushed down some unresolved energies. And many times, unresolved emotions are things that control us subconsciously, things that we were never resolved before, like low self esteem, unresolved grief, primal fear of survival, something that got triggered, and your mind got so scared of feeling it all the way, it stopped it up and pushed it down into the caves of your consciousness. And so go deeper into this ocean, go deeper into your consciousness, and bring up that emotion, the difficult one. Do your best to bring it up. And so the way we do this is keep your body relaxed, and you should always be feeling the presence of God's peace all around you like the ocean. And you are. Whenever you feel you don't feel it, just relax your focus. Just remember that it's always there because it's the energy of God. It's the energy of the universe. It has to be there. So just relax your focus and you'll feel it, just like the ocean all around you. And the emotion that you're bringing up to resolve feels like a wave coming out of the ocean in a singular location in your body. Get a sense of it? Okay. And whatever emotion you've chosen, self loathing, low self esteem, unresolved grief, sometimes there's a despair or hopeless despair that life can be meaningless. That's another kind of energy that's unresolved, usually. A primal fear of survival, maybe something traumatic that happened. Just bring it up. And if you really want to get to the root of it, ask yourself, when was the first time I ever felt this? Because that was the first time your mind said, I never want to feel this again. And pushed it down and came up with all these ways to avoid feeling that. And so it comes up with all these, what I call avoidant thought mechanisms. So to avoid feeling guilt, to avoid feeling low self esteem, we do things like addictions. We do things like people pleasing. We do things like procrastinate. We do things like delve into work and don't feel, just keep on do without feeling anything. And they're all designed to not feel things that the mind is scared of. But remember, God designed you, your body, I mean, to feel all this stuff. Your body is designed to feel emotions. Again, it doesn't make it pleasant, but it's designed to feel emotions. Notice how the human body, the physical body, has no opinion on the emotion that it's feeling, which is why happiness, love, peace, and joy is just, it has no problem feeling that. It doesn't have an opinion. It's the mind that doesn't like things. Understandably, it's scared of certain things. You know, it's scared. It doesn't know what to do. And so it just pushed it down there. Okay. It did you a favor, actually, because it didn't know how to process it. Because a lot of times this stuff happens when you're young that you push down and no one shows you how to feel all this stuff properly and resolve it. Then it's just going to keep it there. So it did you a favor. And so bring this stuff up and ask yourself, when was the first time you ever felt it, to get to the root of it? Once you've had that memory there, discard the vision of the memory and stay with the feeling. And then without any agenda or intention to change this feeling, to feel better, to do therapy on yourself, to do any kind of affirmations, simply allow it in the body. Allow yourself to experience the feeling just like you would allow happiness, love, peace, or joy. If it's getting difficult, relax your focus and feel the universal energy all around you. Feel the peace of God. God is always saying to you, don't be scared. I'm here. Okay? Just relax your focus. So you're always feeling the peace of God all around you and this other emotion inside you. And Again, your only job is to be courageous about feeling it. Like you're saying to God or the universe, I volunteer my physical body to resolve this emotion that you need me to resolve. And lots of times I work with adults who have children and I tell them, maybe God needs you to resolve this because God needs you to help your child eventually one day to resolve a difficult emotion. So your child doesn't pass along the generational trauma in your lineage. And so all you have to do is just feel it. Okay. If there's a part of your body that's feeling tense, tight, sometimes people say, now my throat feels constricted. I'm feeling throbbing pain in my knee, or now I got a headache. That's just resistance. Just relax the entire body. Remember that your body, along with all the other solids in the universe, are made up of atoms, and atoms are 99% space. A lot of this is empty space. It's only the belief, actually, that all of this is solid and real that causes this to form, to be solid and real. But just remember the emptiness of it all, the God energy of it all, and relax that area of the body. And just use your entire body to feel the feelings. If anything else comes up, sometimes people say, well, now sadness is coming up. A lot of times people report sadness because when you start to resolve these old emotions that you haven't resolved, your personality, actually, your ego starts to dissolve a little bit because it was a lot of it was your ego and your personality was it was that which held on to all of these feelings. And so when you start to resolve them, that story of who you were starts to go along with it. And thus, sadness can come up because it's the beginning of the end of the way you were as your ego becomes transformed and rebuilt into something softer, more accepting, into something more aligned with God, you could say maybe. And so sadness can come up. Just feel anything that comes up. Sometimes this can feel like a whoosh of energy that comes from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Sometimes people report nothing. Just whatever's coming up, do your best to make sure that you're always feeling the peace of God with it. You're in this open, allowing state. Your body's relaxed and your breath is slow. And don't go with the mind. Your mind may come up with all these stories to distract you because it still doesn't like feeling feelings. Just lovingly, gently put it to the side and just stay with your heart and feel the feelings. Okay? And notice that these emotions are like a wave in the ocean. So all you're doing is relaxing your resistance around feeling it and let that wave sink back into the ocean. So you're not getting rid of these feelings, you're not avoiding them, you are integrating them into the system. Just like a wave going back into the ocean. The water of it's still there, but now it's integrated into the whole. And ask yourself even, is the emotion really separate than this ocean of peace all around it? If you go right to where the two meet, can you really tell if there's a separation there? Or is it when you zoom in to where this wave of energy meets the ocean of God's peace, it's like you can't tell where one ends and the other begins? Yes? There was never a separation. It was always this. All of your emotions. Like I said, everything is the energy of God, even your emotions. When you realize this, especially with your difficult emotions, you are free because you're okay with the path of life that God has intended for you. That includes your personal emotional roller coaster, your personal emotional path. your quote unquote cross to bear, as Jesus put it. Okay. That's why they say God is my strength, things like that. I will walk through the valley of death, and God is, always feel this around you. And the same with your thoughts. Don't be scared of any of your thoughts. That problem that you brought up, bring up in your head the worst case scenario of it, but do it in God's peace. And just like the emotion, allow it to be there. This worst case scenario of the problem that you brought up, being alone, you know, feeling like your body's just, you're just going to not care and just feel your body's going to degrade. Bring it up. But you always feel it and experience it in God's peace until your body's relaxed. And you know that an integration is taking place when your mind is still. It becomes quiet, calmer, more empty. Get a sense of it. And if there's still tension there, just do this meditation again. It simply means I didn't give you enough time. There's more stuff in there. And again, you're not deciding this, what comes up or not. God decides, actually. You know, you're just supposed to be willing and be courageous to feel whatever God intends for you. Okay. So some of you may feel a lot, some of you may feel very little, and everything in between. And this may happen over several sessions. This body was releasing energy here for a couple of years and still sometimes does, right? The difference is I'm not scared of it. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing stuff to push this. I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. All I want to do is what God intended for me. Okay. And so hopefully now you feel a little bit more peace over your problem. Yes. And you know that things have been resolved. Bring up the problem again, but look at it from the point of view of the peace of God. Feel the peace of God all inside you and all around you. Now bring up the problem again and look at the problem again from that point of view. Go back to your anxious mind. You'll probably feel anxiety again. Stay in the peace. Stay in the peace of God. Look at the problem again. What comes up for you now? Again, if there's any more tension, that simply means I didn't give you enough time. You just do the same thing. Identify the difficult emotion underneath, relax the body, bring up the peace of God, and feel it. God will release this from you, but only when you're courageous enough to feeling all of it. That's how you release it, by feeling it. Okay. Now, hopefully, you feel the peace of God all around. Yes. You can sense it all around you. You can sense it even in all of the objects around you. So I asked you to bring up a picture. Yes. Go get the picture now. Feel the peace of God within you and go to that picture. And remember, the energy of God is all there is. There's no you in there. There's a feeling that you're in there, but it's just a feeling. It's not really a real thing that you're a real solid individual that's separate than God, because all there is God. So God is appearing as you. So what I'm saying is God is looking through those eyes. The energy of God is looking through those eyes. And when it looks at the picture of this person, what does it intuitively know about itself? Does it say to itself, this one is separate than me? It's separate, and I must go around it because it blocks me? Or does the energy of God inside you intuitively know, I am in you, and I am also in them? And even to say, I am in them is a duality. I am them, as in I am you. You are now experiencing. The ocean is now experiencing itself. I guess what you could call this is like a mini spiritual awakening or something. You keep doing this, especially around the emotions, until something inside relaxes and the scared, neurotic, anxious, controlling energy of the ego dissolves. And you will be what spiritual teachers have called liberated. Liberated from the desire that life should be any different than what it is. And what you want in the end will be what God intended for you. And it won't matter what that path was, because in God's peace, you know that you'll be helped with everything. Just don't shy away from your emotions. People die from addictions, from other things, because they don't want to feel things. We die from stress related medical conditions, or at least experiencing the pain of it. Lots of times from these trapped, unresolved emotions that I'm doing my best to show you a way to resolve them that was shown to me. There are other ways to do it. This is a meditational form of what's called a somatic energy release. And so hopefully some of you, when you go back to the problem, you realize the emotion around it is resolved. And now your mind is a little bit more relaxed around it and has more harmonious thoughts around this problem that didn't have access to. Yes, because it's no longer scared, right? Sometimes people report their mind is totally empty now because it's no longer giving you anxious thoughts, because it's no longer the only reason the anxious thoughts were there is because it was trying to avoid feeling things, but you just felt them. And thus, your mind starts to get rid of all these anxious, neurotic, controlling thoughts because it doesn't need them anymore. Okay? So, if an integration or a shift has occurred there, understand that more things may be coming up during the next few days and the next few weeks and the next few months. As long as you're willing to keep feeling your feelings in the energy of God and feeling everything in life that God intended for you, your resistant egoic mind will start to thin out and you'll feel lighter, more accepting of things. The story in your life may get harder, but the difference is your ego, your person, will be more accepting of it and go through it smoother, lighter, more peaceful than you ever thought. Okay. So in my job as a coach, I help people with dealing with the possible death of their loved ones through addiction. And so they report that when they go through this with me and it's effective for them and they engage with this tool, they feel a peace around their loved one's addiction they never even knew possible. Because their ego, which was holding on to this unresolved energy, got thinned out and the energy got resolved. Okay. So God is always here to help you. Just don't shy away from your emotions. That's the main instruction. Feel it with the peace of God or the peace of the universe and just don't shy away from it. And God will continue to do this work in the background to the point where you'll feel this peace all around you sometimes without even trying. You'll be just a walking, living, breathing meditation as you realize everything is this. Everything is the peace of God.